I am on week 3, and I can already tell you that I definitely see a change. I feel so much stronger, especially compared to week 1. Week 1, I was struggling. I felt disoriented after my workouts. My cardio was garbage. I was definitely very winded. And then week 2, I was still feeling like a Slim Jim, like I had Slim Jim arms. I couldn't really lift 10 pounds. I was struggling, but the coaches were so supportive, which was so helpful. And then now, week 3, I'm definitely seeing improvement, especially in my cardio. Like, I'm not breathing as hard. I'm not disoriented after the workouts. I'm even lifting heavier weights. Week 1, I was mainly doing, 5 to 10 pounds. Week 2, I was trying to push 10 to 12 pounds. And this week, I'm pushing anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds, even sometimes 25. Like, if I'm doing lower body, I'm grabbing those 25-pound weights. That's been really great. And I also want to talk about the benefit of just mentally. Last night, I was kind of having a conversation with EJ about some stuff in our life. And then this morning, it kind of lingered over. I don't know, I was just feeling off. So going into my workout, mentally, I was kind of like, I'm sleepy and, I don't feel as like, I had to try and hype myself up before the workout, but it wasn't really working. But then, I did the workout, and then afterwards, I was like, I felt so much better. It was kind of like the conversation that, we were having last night, and this, that leaked into this morning, it didn't even like matter anymore because I just felt that good and I felt that better, mentally. So I also want to talk about some of the changes I made. So coming into this transformation, I was thinking that I wanted to do 3 days a week. And I was doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. However, in week 2, I discovered that I was experiencing extremely sharp and unusual pains. And because of that, I was like, all right, I'm not doing Wednesdays no more, because Wednesdays was athletic training. So I was like, bump that. So now in week 3, I have a whole new approach, which I feel like is already better. I'm going to do Mondays and Tuesdays, which Mondays lower body, Tuesdays upper body. I'm going to skip Wednesdays, no athletic training. Thursdays and Fridays, I'm going to do lower body again and then upper body again. I also like it because, it's giving me that rest day, that break, instead of me just going like back to back for 3 days. In addition to the pain that I was feeling, I also didn't want to just switch up physically what I was doing, but I wanted to switch up what I was doing nutritionally. Some of the things that I was doing to help the pain, which I haven't been feeling anymore, thank the Lord. Some of the things that I've been doing is like castor oil packs on my abdominal area. I've been doing a lot of teas, so like dandelion root tea. Nutritionally, I also decided to add in homemade bone broth with pasture-raised chicken feet. And I've been incorporating that into my diet because I want to do a lot more gut healing, because I believe there may be a connection between like my gut and just the pain that I was feeling, sticking a lot to like anti-inflammatory foods. So I'm going to do a weekly check-in starting this week, because week 1, week 2, I was not really doing a check-in. Now that I have the courage to film this, I'm going to do a weekly check-in. So the next question is, what was hard? What is still struggling for me is my arms. Like, Coach Tony, he had me, doing those ropes things, which is my worst nightmare, by the way. I did that in week 2, I faced my fear. This week, we did it again, and it was more like, doing the ropes like this to the side. And I'm still struggling with my arms, so that's been hard. And the other part of this that was hard was obviously the very sharp pain that I was feeling after doing like high intensity working out. But at least that has resolved. Like, so far I've been feeling better, no sharp pains or anything like that. I'm keeping it to strength training, but arms, I got Slim Jim arms over here, so I want to get better at that. What surprised me in week 3, the moment happened today, which I didn't get to record, but at the end of the session, we get on like the little cycling bikes. You have to hold your arm up while you're cycling. I was like, you know what? Let me add a weight, because Coach Navi, he had me do that the first week. He gave me a weight to hold over my head while on the bike. Your girl was huffing and puffing. So today I did it again, and I held it, over my head, and I felt way better. Like, I just wasn't catching my breath, or I was like, wow, like this is what it feels to be strong. Did I want to quit? No. So far, I can tell you I have not even thought about quitting doing this. Even when I was having the sharp pain a few days ago, I didn't want to quit. I was like, I need to stay here, and I don't care if I have to modify it. I don't care what needs to happen, but I do not want to quit. No, we're not quitting here. Instead, actually, we're going to ramp it up. And What am I learning in week 3? I think specifically in week 3, I'm learning what works for my body, what doesn't, physically and nutritionally. I had no idea that I was going to be experiencing pain to that degree from like running and jumping. So obviously I was disappointed at first. I look at myself and I'm like, okay, I'm young, I'm 31, so I should be quote unquote jumping around. And that's not the case for everybody. We're all different. Taking that expectation off myself and just pushing myself in other ways. So if I can't do high intensity right now, then that's fine, but I'll just amp up the weights then. I'm learning a lot about what's working for me and tailoring it to that. I can't be doing what everybody else doing to a degree. And then lastly, I think mentally what I'm learning is just keep showing up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you feel, just show up and you're gonna feel better afterwards, for sure. Obviously being around community, there was a lady with me, her name was Diana, and like she was so sweet and she was talking to me and just interacting for those few moments, like that uplifted my spirit. The coaches, like they're always pushing you, and just being around them, like that makes you want to obviously work harder and reach your goals. Looking back, if you can, record a little bit of yourself and watch the footage, because you'll be proud of yourself. You're like, oh wow, like I did that. You'll be surprised. So that is my week 3 check-in, and I'll see you in week 4.